So I'm gonna share my screen and then we will start, okay?
Yes,
And how was your week though? How was your week?
Madam, it was great.
That's nice. What I heard you guys are on vacation now. So any plans? What are the plans whilst you guys are on vacation? You're waiting for what?
Go to farm.
Madam, they said they will go to farm.
Oh, that's nice. I need some pictures and videos if you can whilst you are at the farm.
Okay.
okay.
Next week.
Send me stuff on what you are doing. Send me reports. What you are doing during the week. Yes. You can share them on what is it called? On the WhatsApp group. You can text me them. You can also email them. I'm gonna give you my email address very soon. You can also email them to me, but don't just send a picture, add your name and a little bit of information so I know who you are, okay?
Yes, madam.
So that you make your 1 month vacation worth it. Make it fun, enjoy, and make it productive. Okay. Hey, Tama, my plans, Nathan. What are you guys planning? Okay.
Vacation.
Yeah, so what are you planning to do on vacation?
We want to go to the excursion.
Oh, that's the only plan. So Monday through Friday, what are you planning to do?
Pardon us.
I say Monday through Friday, what are you guys planning to do?
Go to the beach.
We want to go to the beach.
That's the only thing. Monday through Friday.
No.
No, only one. One day.
Okay. My question is, whilst you guys are on vacation, what are some of the activities you'll be engaging in?
Madam, we will do traveling.
You will farm.
Okay.
Farm. So you'll be selling. That is one.
Okay.
What will you be doing? Eating, sleeping, and drinking.
Me, I'll be home.
Okay.
Very good.
That is nice. So what I need from you guys is that before you go back to school, send me a report with pictures, whatever it is that you are doing whilst you're on vacation. Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Messi media na ba bebre na so.
Be touching the screen.
Okay.
It will sleep. Eh? We are serious. Hey.
Okay. So we got it. Our assignment for this month, right? You're gonna send me reports on how you spend your 1 month. Not just Mate, me train. So let me let me share my screen so we can start. So share. Okay, hold on. So this is my email. If you want to copy it, you can choose how you want to send it to me, or I can create a classwork and you can submit. Is that okay? You prefer that? Okay, I'll create a classwork. So I'm just sharing my email. If you ever feel like messaging me and stuff, this is my email, and that's Uncle Tony's email. Where's Uncle Tony? Okay. If you ever feel like emailing any one of us, that's our email. Okay. So that's about it. Anyway, yeah, it's nice to know that you guys get to rest a little bit, but make sure you make the best out of it. Okay. If you are farming, make sure by the time the month is ended, you have some crops. Don't just make sure we see something good out of your farming. Does it make sense? So today, last week, before we ended class, we discussed or we talked about what is we discussed about us being explorers, right? And I know we've been talking about computers for a while. We have been talking about computers for almost like 2 months now. So today we are taking a break from computers because Uncle Tony is not around. Let me see if I can make my screen bigger. How do I? Okay. Is it better now? No. That's okay. Okay, perfect. It's big now. So today we are talking about research, how to research on a topic or subject. Can somebody help me understand why we are talking about this today? Why are we talking about this today? If you are talking, I cannot hear you. You might be on mute. And as we always do, mention your name so we know who you are.
Madam, please, the question again.
What I said today, we are talking about how to research on a topic or subject. And I'm asking you guys, why do you think we are talking about this subject today? What?
My name is Prince.
Hi, Prince.
Madam, we are researching on this subject because our research level is very low.
Also,
So we want to improve it.
Good. So, Prince, another thing, if anybody go and attack Prince after class, I'll come for you guys. Because Prince does not tell me anything. I heard you guys, Edura Meka. Okay. So anyway, good job, Prince. So this is the situation. When we did our community, right?
Yes, madam.
Yes. I realized that even though we have done scientific research, who remembers critical thinking? Remember we did critical thinking last year. There's still some missing gaps somewhere when it comes to looking for what? Information. And so today we are going to brush off on that, and then hopefully we will understand what research is about, and the whole idea of I don't know will stop. Does it make sense?
Yes,
So when somebody
madam.
asks you something, you won't say I don't know. You will say that I don't know for now, but I'm going to research on it. Does it make sense?
Yes, madam.
I don't know for now, but I am going to research on it. When somebody asks you a question, you will not just say meaning and be done with it. But you say, I don't know, but I'm going to research on it. So that's what I want us to talk about or discuss today. That even when we don't know, we are going to go and find ways and means to get the answer. So with that being said, let me yeah. Hold up. Share. Copy. So hard. Okay, so that means that I want to text this thing real quick. So don't call me. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide. Oh, so what is the research? Before even you guys can read this, can somebody tell me what a research is?
I am Kezia.
Hey, Kezia.
A research, yes, from Tema. A research is a means of finding a result for a problem.
Thank you. So it's a means of finding a result for a problem. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Kezia. Anybody else want to add to it? Anyone?
My name is Prince.
Hi, Prince again.
Research is the process of finding something out.
Okay.
Investigation
Okay.
or asking somebody.
Okay, thank you. So what Prince said is what? A process of finding or investigating or finding out about something, whether you ask people or you search, doesn't make sense. So thank you, Prince. Anyone? So that Prince from Edura. Francie, anyone want to help us? What is the research?
David from France. Research is a creative and systematic work undertaken to increase.
Don't read anything for me. I want what you understand, please, David. Don't read anything. I want what this is. Let me say this. EBI, we are explorers. We don't do copy. Does it make sense? We don't do copy and paste. We always want to say things that we understand, not what somebody is telling us. Even if somebody is telling us something, we have to try and analyze it, change things around in our own language. Okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so David, when we say research, what's your saying? Okay, anyone?
Abdullah Fatima.
Okay, hi, Abdullah Fatima.
Research is a process of finding a solution by using the internet.
Okay, thank you, Fatima. So see, everything that we all said is good, okay? Everything. I heard somebody saying that research, you can use people, right, to do your research. And then Fatima is saying that we can use what? The internet for research, right? So research is, you can use both human information, internet information, whatever it is to what? To research, okay? So when we say research, in the American English or the World English or the Webster or whatever it's called, a careful study and investigation for the purpose of discovering and explaining knowledge, okay? So it can be when you take your time to study, you take your time to investigate with the purpose. What is purpose? The intent. Why do they say open answers? Does it make sense? You've made up your mind that you need answers. So you are carefully searching for the answer. You are carefully investigating the questions or the situation to discover and explain new knowledge And it can even be old knowledge, but to you, it's something new. Does it make sense? It can be old knowledge, but to you, it's something new. So that is what research can mean. Or research is defined as the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts and knowledge and understanding. So this is a longer version of that. Is a state. Does it make sense?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So now, do we understand what a research is?
So has
Okay. So, with that being said, when you have a problem and you don't know the answer to the problem, right? And then you go and look for the answer, it becomes a new knowledge. Does it make sense? If you are not talking, can you put yourself on mute? Okay. So with that being said, that's about that. So we shared, all of you guys share some stuff. So research can be an idea, a question, right? You develop different ways and means to find the answers. Sometimes when you develop the different ways and means to find the answers, getting the answers can sometimes cost you money, right? Because sometimes you have to travel, you have to buy some things, you have to check on some stuff. So sometimes research can cost money to find the answer, okay? Then you can plan how to get the answer. Then you record your answer, you process the answer to make it simple for people to understand you. Does it make sense? And then you publish. And then when you publish, people will work.
Madam, please, I have a question.
Okay, I'm listening. If you're on mute, let me. Nimson.
Yes, madam.
My
question is, if someone asks you a question and you don't have a phone and the place you are staying, there is no educative person, what will you do to find the answer?
Okay, you say if somebody asks you a question, right? And you don't have a phone or internet, right?
Yes, madam.
And where you are, there is no educated staff. So we will get to that answer. I will answer that question in the next slide, okay? Keep that question, yes. But that's a good question that you asked. Keep it. We will.
I also have a question.
What is the question?
Other types of research.
Oh, we will get there.
Okay.
Okay. So are we good over on this one, on this slide? Okay. So a person that does a research, right? It's called a researcher. A person that does research is called a researcher. And there are people, their job is to research. Okay?
Yes,
so if you are as a STEAM student or as a science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics student, you can be a researcher of mathematics. You can be a researcher of engineering, can be a researcher of technology, can be a researcher of science. Does it make sense? So a person that does research is called a researcher. So we, EBI, when we say we are exploring, we are researchers, we are investigators and all those stuff, all of it falls under what? A research. So a researcher is someone who conducts research. It's that simple. Somebody that goes and look for information, okay? That is a researcher. So when I give you guys a homework, an assignment, and you don't know about it, and you go out there looking for information, you are a researcher. Does it make sense? Okay. Some words related to research. before anything, from whatever we have talked about, what are some of the words that we can use in place of a research?
We can use explore.
Good. Thank you, Prince. What else?
Madam, we can use investigators.
Yes, awesome. What other words?
Scientist.
Yeah, you can say that. Yes. What other words? Someone say, oh, I'm researching, or I'm investigating. What other words can you use in those places? Those are the what we call the synonyms of research. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. So somebody, I'm on the quest. I am on the quest to find information, right? I am here to audit information. I am here to check information. I am here to diagnose information. I am here to inspect something. Like all those things are what? Researching. You are trying to find out answers. You have a question and you're looking for an answer, right? I am here to what? When you do a survey. Remember last year when we finished the STEAM exchange program, the summer camp, and we send you guys some survey to answer, right? That is our research. We wanted to know, how do you guys feel when we give you homework and we ask you to answer those homework? We want to understand, do you understand the work? Do you get it? So we are also doing our own research on you guys. Does it make sense? So when somebody gives you a question and stuff, all those things are what? Research. Where you take a quiz, where you are what's it called? Where you take cross-examination, where you do self-exploration, where you examine yourself, self-questioning. Do I understand this problem? Did I hear this well? All those stuff. All those things are what? Different types of research, or words that are related to what? Research. So when you hear all those things, don't be scared like, oh my God, I don't get it. No. Everything that we are saying right now, all that you see here, relate to what? Research.
In the words you have given us related to research, I see feeler.
You see what?
Feeler.
Okay, so when we say feeler, like how do you feel about the situation? Does it make sense? I want to feel this. I want to touch this. I want to experience this. Imagine, how do I even say this? You have two different balls, right?
Yes, madam.
And you want to feel it to see the weight or the heaviness. A basketball, a soccer ball, right? So you are researching to find out. So sometimes you can feel it to say, okay, what kind of material did they use to do it? Does it make sense? So you are touching it to feel the situation, to feel it. Like when you different types of braids, different types of hair, all those stuff, you are feeling different types of crops, you are feeling them to find out what is the difference between this tomatoes and that tomatoes. We have tiny tomatoes, right? That you can add like 5 tomatoes in one hand. And then there are some tomatoes that you can only hold one in one hand. So all these things are what? Research. Does it make sense?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Any more? Okay, so when somebody sends you a questionnaire, all those things are what? All those stuff relate to what? Research, reinvestigating. Even though it has been investigated before, you just want to find out, right? Does it still say the truth? Has anything changed? Maybe we research something during the Harmattan season, right? Now it's rainy season. Let's go back and check again. Is it the same thing or the same process during different season? Does it make sense? So sometimes situations change based on circumstance or the weather. Okay? Okay. So key points in research. You frame, analyze, synthesize information to solve problems, answer questions, and generate new knowledge. Effectively use variety of sources. Critically evaluate the accuracy, quality, and the validity of the information. What do I mean by all these stuff? I asked you guys, what was it? Your favorite community helper, right? Community helper or community person. And then you said a doctor is your favorite person. Then I asked you, does this person need a degree? You know, what do they need to be able to practice their medicine, or their doctor, or whatever it is, a medical doctor? Then you said, I don't know. You did not even frame the question. You did not analyze the question. You did not break down the question in any way to try to find the answer. You just said, I don't know. Does it make sense? But you have, when the question is thrown at you, you have to be able to break it down. Break the question down. So, okay, medical doctor, this. Wait, even the medical doctor that you are asking me, is a medical doctor in Ghana, medical doctor in China, medical doctor where? Does it make sense? Because every country will have their own regulations. So when somebody asks you a question, begin to analyze the question and ask yourself, what exactly is this person really trying to accomplish from this question? Okay. And when that happens, if you don't get it, you can go back and say, okay, I got your question, but do you mean Ghana, or do you mean the US, or do you mean China? Okay. And the person might be like, okay, it can be anywhere you choose, or it can be Ghana because you are in Ghana. So we are talking about what? Ghana. Does it make sense? So when somebody throws a question at you, you got to be able to break down the question to what? To find a solution or an answer to that question or problem. Okay, hold up. Research sources. Somebody said we have internet that we use. Fatima said we can use internet to search for, to do research. And then Prince said we can use books, right? So when we say books, when we say internet and stuff, they say research source. When you come to me and you tell me that, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow, right? And then I'll ask you, what is your source? What is your source? Does it make sense? Why are you saying it's going to rain tomorrow? Where do you get information from? Or you say, oh, the flag of Ghana is red, gold, green with a star in it. Where do you get that information from? Does it make sense? Remember, we did critical thinking, fact versus fiction. Those who remember, fact versus fiction. Just because you think you are the tallest person in the world doesn't mean that it's a fact, right? Just because you think that you are the most smart person in the world does not mean it's a fact. It might be an opinion, right? We can also Accra is the most beautiful place in Ghana. That can be
Madam, that's when it is a fact.
Okay.
Is that a fact?
So
Big opinion.
Oh, it's a fact to you, Oli.
You buy this idea, it's a fact.
Excuse me. So when you go and tell somebody that this is what I think the answer is, okay? They're gonna ask you, how did you get to that point? Just because Prince, Cedric, Frederick, or David, you are telling me, or Kezia, you are telling me that, oh, I think that this is the answer, doesn't mean that because you are saying is the answer, we should just take it, okay? You always got to what? Go to the next level and tell me that this is the answer because, right? I did this. I asked this person who is also a valid person or a valid source, right? And I got to this answer. And so when somebody was asking me that, oh, how do you do a research when you don't have internet and there's no educative source around you? How do you do research? We will. This is why we say what you need your what source, your source, your source. So a primary. So we have two types of research sources. Okay, we have the primary source and the secondary source. What is a primary source? The primary source is like can be what a first-hand account of actual events written by an eyewitness. When you watch the news, right? And the newscaster is interviewing the person that was there. And they are telling the news what happened at that scene. That is a primary source. Philly, Gani, they saw what happened. Does it make sense?
Yes,
That is a primary source. And then let's say you did not watch the news, right? You were not there. Then you have to work or do a school project or do a report on what happened. You will go back and watch the TV or the news, right? That was recorded. Then you will cite what the person said. That would be what a secondary source because it is coming from the eyewitness and from the internet or whatever. Now you are reviewing it and then you are also what citing or giving reference to it. So it becomes what a secondary source. So can somebody help me understand the difference between primary and secondary from what I have just explained? If you are mute, unmute yourself. Primary source is first-hand account. Like today, Prince is a primary source. Whoever was there is a primary source. I am a primary source. I saw, I heard. Doesn't make sense. And if somebody comes and try to explain whatever, and you are not, you don't get it, whatever that Prince or I would tell you, whatever you will hear and rewrite whatever will be what the secondary source of the information, because maybe I will go and type it somewhere. So you will not get to hear it from me when you want to research. Doesn't make sense. I'll just type it somewhere and I'll go. Then you say, oh, Letitia said this on this day, blah, blah, blah. That'll become what a secondary source. But if you find me and you talk to me and I tell you what really happened on that day, it becomes what a primary source. In your own words, what is a primary source? This is a definition. A primary source can be what? First-hand account of actual events written by an eyewitness or original literature or artistic work. They may be letters, official records, interviews, surveys, results, all those stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I'm back. Hello.
Yes.
Madam, my name is Nemson.
My name is
Primary source. It can be explained as a written or oral of artistic value of a group of people.
Okay. So give me in your own language again. What can a primary source be?
It can be explained as a written or oral of artistic value of a group of people.
Okay. So say it in three, I meant it.
Madam, my
Okay. Okay. So let me add a little bit to Nipson's stuff, okay? The primary source is Nipson. So guys, if you are not, okay. So the primary source, what I was saying, right? Like Nipsey was saying that it happens when we say eyewitness, it happened firsthand, right? Eyewitness, it happened firsthand. An actual event. For example, those who went to the Ghana-Nigeria match, right? Whatever that happened that day, if they are telling you what happened, that means they were there and they saw everything, how the goal was scored, all that stuff. Does it make sense? Those who were in Nigeria, they were the eyewitness of the match. Those who went to Kumasi to watch the game were also the eyewitness of the match. Does it make sense? So when we say primary source, the person was really there, or even if they were there and they either gave an interview or they either wrote down their review or their observation of the actual event. Does it make sense? Anybody have a question for me? I don't think you guys get it here. So I want us to take our time, not stress on it. Any question for me? For primary source? Okay, no question. So can somebody help me understand in their own language, what is a primary source when it comes to research? In their own understanding, in their own English.
Madam question. Madam, please, from what Vincent said, what is the meaning of artistic?
When we say artistic,
Madam, please, I want Vincent to answer the question.
What happened?
Madam, you did copy and paste. So I want him to answer.
Okay, Nipsey.
The meaning of artistic is written or oral.
Okay, so let me help Nipson here. Okay, artistic work is, you know how sometimes people will take pictures during events, right? Take pictures during events. Guys, are you listening?
Yes, madam.
Okay, artistic works. Sometimes okay. Sometimes people take pictures. Like let's say Independence Day. How do we know about history? Through pictures, right? Through drawing, through art, through dance, creating works and stuff. So when they say artistic works, it can be anything in the creative arts area. Does it make sense? It can even be music. Did I answer your question? So even a video, right? How do I say this? Those who were not able to go to the match for the Ghana Nigeria, you watch the pictures, you watch the video, right? So those can be what? Primary source to get information. Am I making sense?
Yes, madam.
Okay. And then, so now that we know primary source, can somebody tell me what is a secondary source when it comes to research?
Kezia. Secondary resource refers to the discussion of primary source of information.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you, Kezia.
Listen.
Okay. Anybody? We know what a primary source is. The person was there. History can be both primary and secondary based on the context. We will talk about it very soon, okay? So guys,
Very important.
Is gossiping a primary or secondary?
it's what?
Is gossiping.
Well, that's not a good source. So we won't even talk about it. Okay. If somebody cannot openly discuss something, then, but we will talk about those situations later, okay?
Madam.
Okay. So I'm asking you guys, now we know what a primary source is. So if a primary source is first-hand accounts, what is a secondary source?
Madam. It is a second-hand account of actual events.
Okay. Thank you, Prince. Anybody else? Okay. So let me say this, right? For secondary source, whoever is using secondary source are always picking from the primary source. Does it make sense? The person that is using the secondary source, they are picking information that was shared by a primary source. So I'm going to give you guys examples of secondary and primary source, okay? So you understand what I'm coming from. So a primary source, internal information, survey, observation, focus group, right? And then secondary source are books, magazine, database, internet, market consultant, and market professionals. What does it mean? What are the difference and stuff? So remember we said surveys are first-hand account of the person's experience, right? Observation, you observe something. I was at the Ghana-Nigeria soccer game. Does it make sense? So you observe, I was there. So whatever you are saying over here, somebody will pick that and write a book on it. Does it make sense? Or you will pick that information that you saw and you write a book on it. And I will pick up the book and then I will read and then analyze what you said for my own information. That will become a secondary source, because at that moment that I'm reading your book, you are not there for me to ask you any questions. Does it make sense? Are we good? So secondary sources can be books, magazines, database, internet. When we do internet research, when you Google stuff and all those things, those are one secondary source. And then when you get internal information, somebody asked me about gossip, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm listening.
Is news broadcasting a secondary or primary source?
It's a primary source. Remember, I told you. Remember, I told you that. Thank you, Gabriel. So I'll read Gabriel's stuff very soon for you guys. So a news, sometimes they call it the eyewitness news or something like that. The person is interviewing who was there. For example, let's say you have a shop, right? In your shop, you have bread, about 5 bread. You have some sugar, whatever in there in the shop. And unfortunately, somebody breaks in your shop and steal all your stuff. Then the news report comes and asks you, what did you have in the shop, right? And you begin to explain to them what you had in the shop. That is, you know what you had and you are explaining what you had. Does it make sense? And then let's say there was a video camera that took a picture, that recorded all that info, all that happened. So when you are able to, when the news is able, the news people are able to show to people what really happened, that is a primary source, because the video that they are watching is actually what happened. Okay.
Is blogging a primary source or a secondary source?
It's what?
Blogging.
Blogging. So blogging can come into 2 different situations. The person can give you their own first-hand opinion about stuff. So a blogger can be, let's say, a historian, right? Giving you actual facts of what is going on. Or they can be a lifestyle blogger of what is going on in their life, okay? Or the blogger is researching and giving you what they are finding. So depending on the type of content, it can be primary or secondary, or it can be fiction, or how is it, fact or opinion. Does it come and make it? So depending on the content, it depends on what the person is writing in their blog. It will help you to determine, is it a primary source of information or is it a secondary source of information? For example, I keep going back to the Ghana and the Nigeria soccer game, right? Let's say a blogger goes to the game, take pictures, take videos, right? And they post it on their website. That is a primary source because they were there. Does it make sense? But let's say the blogger did not go to the game. He watched all these kind of different situations, different videos, and heard different people talking about how everything went down, or they watch it from their home, and they are talking about what their opinion or how they thought about the game. That can be a primary source because they have gotten information from 3 or 4 people, and they are writing their review about the game. Does it make sense? One kohobi. Now only ho. That person was not there. What if you be so? What if you be chain? Sir, I say the AC. And on no one are formulating on one opinion. Does it make sense? But the background now or try video no or try picture no or honomo and who say when the AC. So oh the question now obey me you are not in a simple way for you to understand. But there one correct and meet free as soon as you meet free or be hostile when they see what I say. So all code to obi statement. That's a secondary source. So when we ask you, say, help us find out what does it take to be a doctor in Ghana, and you decide to look for a medical doctor, right? To ask the medical doctor, what did you do to become a doctor? That is a primary source. Because you are talking with someone that have gone through the process. They know what they did to become a doctor. They know the course that they took to become a doctor. They know the exam they had to take to become a doctor, right? So that's a primary source. But then, let's say you come to me as me, your teacher. Then you say, what does it take? Say, oh, I asked Dr. Nimson about how she became a doctor. And this is what she told me. Secondary source. I am quoting Dr. Nipson what she told me, how she became a doctor. Does it make sense? So sometimes, no, to confirm whether the secondary source is true or the primary source is true, you find 3 or 4 different witnesses or source. Does it make sense? To compare the information. Because I can tell you, oh, to become a doctor, you have to do what is it called? Well, I'm looking for some crazy. You have to try to know how to cook this. How can what do you mean to become a doctor? I have to know how to cook. You don't have to know how to sell this, and then you think because I'm a doctor, the answer is right? So you go and find another 3rd or 2nd doctor to ask the doctor, how did you become a doctor? So you compare those answers, right? And then in between compare those answers, you will get the right solution, the right answer. Does it make sense? And so sometimes you have to compare different sources to get the right answer. Because sometimes like there's a common statement or a common message in 3 or 4 different statements. Okay? Example, if you interview 3 people that went to the Ghana-Nigeria match, and they are all saying the same thing, right? You know that they are saying the truth, okay? But if you interview them and where you see A, where you see B, where you see Q, then you ask yourself, okay, were they even there? Does it make sense? So always try to find different source to get to your answer. Like I said, you come to me and you tell me, they say it's going to rain. Where did you get the information from? Where? Did you get that from the newscaster, from the webcaster, whatever? So you say, oh, I searched that online and I got it from here, that it's going to rain. Or I look at the weather forecast and it's telling me it's going to rain today. Does it make sense? So these are those secondary source or primary source that you need. So today is 106. Can somebody really help me break down what we have learned today? What have you learned? What have you learned today when it comes to research? Remember, there is no right or wrong answer, but how you got it.
I am Kezia. I learned that witnessing the event is a primary source, and discussing the event is a secondary source.
Okay. Okay. Can you repeat that again for those who didn't hear you, Kezia? Thank you.
Witnessing the event is a primary source, and discussing the witnessed event is a secondary source.
Okay, let me add this. Thank you, Kezia. Witnessing it, if you are discussing it with a witness, the person that witnessed the situation is a primary source. But when the person is not there and you are reading about it, okay, it becomes a primary source. Let's say the person was interviewed in a magazine, right? And then you are reading from the person's magazine interview. It's a secondary source. Does it make sense? So thank you, Kezia. Anybody else?
I have a question for you.
Who has a question for me?
Madam, my name is Prince. Madam, my name is
Madam, please, I have a question for Kezia.
Okay.
Madam, please, what if you have two witnesses and they are discussing it among themselves?
Can you guys mute yourself if you are not talking, please? Sorry, Gabriel, me too.
What if we have two witnesses? They are there when the event started and they are discussing it among themselves. How do we call that?
Okay.
Like
two witnesses, right? They are discussing among themselves. That's a discussion. It's nobody needs that information. It's between themselves. If you are looking for that information, yeah. If whatever the person have and found one, you don't need that. Does it make sense? For example, you're looking for how to become a doctor information, right? Then you meet two mechanic people. You are not going to ask them anything. They will be talking among themselves. But because whatever that they are saying is not relevant to you, you will not ask them any question. Does it make sense? You will bypass them and go to what you need. Go and look for the doctor. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the people can be talking about their situations and stuff. If it's not relevant to your day-to-day life, and don't know the bad day, what's the crowd? What are you using it for? Nothing. It might be even old information to you anyway. Is somebody asking me a question or saying something? What have we learned today? Tomorrow and next week, Uncle Tony will come back. We will continue this later, but I want us to get this thing right. We are not done. We are not done. What have you learned today about research? Yes, Cedric, right?
Yes, madam. Yes, I learned that research is a careful study and investigation for the purpose of discovering and explaining new knowledge.
Repeat it again. Some people were talking. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
I said research is a careful study and investigation for the purpose of discovering and explaining new knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's the purpose of our discovering and explaining new knowledge, new information, you have a question on TRC. or people say a question, then you ask yourself, what does it take to get the answer? Right? Thank you, Cedric. So that is what Cedric have learned today. That a research is like trying to find what? New knowledge, new information, new knowledge, new information. And I said that the fact that it's new to you does not mean it's new to somebody else. Does it make sense? It might be new to Teresa, you got it? It might be new to you, but it might not be. Okay, good. It might be new to you, doesn't mean it might be new to somebody else. It might be old information, but you are now finding out. Somebody might come to Ghana today. You don't even know the capital of Ghana is Accra. Does it make sense? Even though you already know that the capital of Ghana is Accra, that person might be like, wait, what is Accra? Right? And it might be a new knowledge or information to that person. That doesn't mean that it's new to everybody. So your new knowledge or your new information is always it's you personally. When you share with someone and they hear you out, and it's their first time hearing it, it will become their also new knowledge. So that's why research is important. You are always adding on to whatever you know. Okay? Research is important. You always adding whatever knowledge that remember when you were in KG, you went to grade 1, grade 2, grade. So whatever you have learned all these years, you've been adding on and adding on and adding on. So we never stop learning. Okay? We never stop learning. Do I make sense? We never what? Stop learning. We always have to go. If you don't know something, what did I say? Ask people. Go online. The next time we talk about this subject, we will talk about internet research, okay? How to use the internet to find answers. Okay? And then how to use human beings to find answers. So to the question about Nipson, when you said that if you don't have any internet and stuff, there are people around you that you can ask those questions. And I said that to find out the common ground or the common denominator or the common answer or the right answer, you interview or you ask 3 or 6 people the same question, right? If you don't have internet and you're looking for an answer to a question, and you don't have any educative, like let's say a library, some books that you can use to review, you can go out there and look for people to interview or to talk to. And to find out the actual answer to that question, what you would do is what? Ask 3 or 6 people the same question. And you will get at different places, not at the same place, at different places. And you write down their answers down, okay? Then when you finish interviewing them, you review to find out what is the actual truth in all that the people are saying. So let's say, what color is a ripe tomatoes, right? What color is a ripe tomatoes? That's we are trying to find out the color of a ripe tomatoes. So we asked person A. Person A will tell you that it is red, okay? Person B will say it is green. Person C will say it's red. Person D will say it is orange. Person E will say it is red. Person F will say it is red, right? You interview about 10 people. So based on that fact, maybe out of the 10 people, 6 or 7 people will tell you that the color of a ripe tomatoes is red, right? Then you will get your answer from that. Am I making sense? Where is Ejura located? Oh, Ejura is in the Western region. Then you interview another person Ejura is in the Ashanti. And maybe 6 people will tell you Ejura is in the Ashanti region, right? So out of that, you will know that Ejura is in the Ashanti region because you've asked about 10 people and 8 people are telling you that Ejura is in the Ashanti region. Does it make sense? Okay, so we're going to end here today. Don't forget this information. I said that on your vacation, make sure you are documenting all that you are doing. Pictures, videos, whatever, send it. I'm gonna send you a homework so you give us an account. That will be a primary source, right? Of how you spend your vacation. Does it make sense? A primary source of how Kezia, Solomon, Cedric, Nimson, Prince, how Haruna, how Fatima spend their 1 month vacation at home. That will be your own eyewitness news. Are we good? Okay. Any questions for me? Any question? Nothing? Any comments? Anything? Nimson, meet you.
Madam, please, you give us your email address so that if you snap the picture, we send it to you.
Oh yeah. This is I shared my email address in the message area, the chat area. Yeah, let me share it again. Hold up.
Haruna.
And this is Uncle Tony's email.
Uncle Tony.
Okay, and this is Uncle Tony's email.
Mamisha, what's matter? Mamisha. Stop talking.
Madam, please, everything is capital letters.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I just put it there so you can get it. You can read it. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll be waiting. Don't just send me any short. Yeah. Make sure it's in the blog format. Does it make sense?
Okay, madam.
Yeah. We will publish it on the website for you guys. So make sure it is nice. We will put it on the website. We are working on a new website. Let me show you guys. Yeah, we are. What is going on? Hold up. Let me try my Safari since, it's right here. Yeah. So we are working on a new website that we are hoping to launch very soon. So we will have a blog session for you guys, okay? So that people will get to read your work and all those stuff. So proofread your work. Make sure your English is making sense. All those stuff. Okay? How I spent my 1 month holiday or vacation. Okay. Any questions for me before we close for the day? Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so next week, Uncle Tony will come and continue with the computer. Today, I gave you a break from the computer.
Madam.
Yes.
Will you come to Ghana?
This year,
Yeah.
we are not going to be coming to Ghana, but next year. And you might never know. One of these days you'll be in Ghana and I'll be there.
So
Yeah.
we'll not be going on excursions.
We will be going on excursion, but I will not be there. We are working on all those stuff, okay?
Oh,
yes. We will be going, don't like what I have planned, just pray to God for me, okay? And the whole team. What we are planning for you guys is epic. We are working on either we will go to the Kumasi airport or Accra airport and talk to a pilot, a plane, and figure out how they became a pilot. Okay, we are working for you guys. So yes, the field trip is coming on. It's coming in July. Okay.
Yes, madam.
Yes. So we are working on all those stuff. Auntie Nana and what is our teacher Michael and Mr. Blade and teacher Romeo, they will give you guys more updates on those things. Okay, we are working on all those stuff. So trust, it's coming. It's coming.
No, you have sent yours. So everybody should say thank you, madam.
Yeah, we'll talk. Okay. So have fun, stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. Help around the house. Okay? Help around the house. Help your mom and dad. Stay out of trouble. Okay, guys?
Okay, madam.
Okay, enjoy your week. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.